Hello aspirants, welcome back to SRIRAM's IAS. So friends, as a part of our series with respect to women and child welfare development schemes, so friends, in today's discussion, let us try to understand about the Saksham Anganwadi and Poshan 2.0 scheme. So this scheme is very important because it is an integrated scheme which has a lot of schemes subsumed under it. So friends, let us try to explore more about this particular scheme. So let's try to know basically what is Saksham Anganwadi and Poshan 2.0, and then what are the various details of this particular scheme and what are the key objectives of this particular scheme, and apart from this, let us try to know about the significance and the concluding aspects also. So that would be our subject matter for the day. So it's me, your Dr. Suresh Guramkonda, and now let's begin our discussion with the basic understanding that what is Saksham Anganwadi and Poshan 2.0. So friends, if you look from the perspective of it, so Saksham Anganwadi and Poshan 2.0, it's nothing but it's an integrated nutrition support program. So we are calling it as an integrated nutrition support program. So this is what the basic description of this particular scheme. So friends, if you look from the perspective of the reason behind the launch of this particular scheme, so let us try to go back to the situation of 2021 and let us try to know what was the situation and what were the situations that provoked the government to launch this particular scheme. So if you look from the perspective of Saksham Anganwadi and Poshan 2.0, so friends, if you look from 2021 point of view, at that time, so the malnutrition indicators in India, they were very high. So look at this. So India ranked very high with respect to the child undernutrition in indicators such as child stunting, child wasting, anemia, etc. So according to National Family Health Survey 5, so 2019 to 21, so in this period. So that was one thing. So actually they verified, they were just going through these kind of things like what was the rate of child stunting. So child stunting at the time was around 35.5, that is 35.5% children under 5 are stunted. So that was one thing. And then look at this thing, child wasting. So around 19.3% of the children under the age of 5 are in wasting condition. And then anemia, so more than 57% of the girls and women from 15 to 49 years were under anemic condition. So this was another important observation. So under such circumstances, so nutrition was one important aspect. So addressing the issue of malnutrition and malnourishment was one of the very important need of that hour. So early, like we had some other schemes like ICDS scheme or mission, that's Poshan Abhiyan scheme, like that. So they were performing, but we need to revamp them. So under such circumstances, we have launched the Saksham Abhiyan and Poshan 2.0 scheme. So if you happen to understand these three terms, what is child wasting, what is child stunting, and what is other obesity. So if you see from the perspective of it, so what do you mean by child stunting? Child stunting means, so stunted growth means very with respect to height. So a person too short to his age. So for each and every age there would be specific height. So if the children has less height compared to that particular age, then he'll be called as stunted growth. That is called as stunted growth. That's one thing. Then what is child wasting? A person would be too thin for his height. So BMI, if you see from the perspective of body mass index, to height to weight ratio should not match. So here what will happen? So person will be too thin, too lean compared to his height. So that is one thing. So that is wasting, child wasting. And what do you mean by obesity? It is a kind of malnourishment or malnutrition where the weight would be more compared to the height. So that's one thing. So these are all nothing but the different types of malnourishment or malnutrition indicators. So I hope it is clear to you. Now you just see. So child stunting, child wasting, and anemia. So in the picture also you can see that. So to the height, if there is no proportionate height, so if he is short, then stunting. If it is like lean compared to the height, so that is wasting. Anemia means like lack of the various factors like lack of hemoglobin, etc. So that's one thing. So that's the concept of malnutrition. So in this week we have started the Saksham Anganwadi and Mission Saksham Anganwadi and Poshan 2.0. So if you see from the perspective of Mission Saksham Anganwadi and Poshan 2.0, at present if you look into the various aspects of the existing network, so friends, as of now, almost around more than 10 crore children and women are getting benefited under this particular scheme. So that's one important aspect. Then apart from that, if you see, so around 13.5 lakh Anganwadi centers are there with respect to the particular scheme. So that's the existing network. And then if you look further, so 13.1 lakh Anganwadi workers are there who are working all around the India. That's another important aspect. Then 10.5 lakh drinking water facilities are available at Anganwadi centers. That is another important aspect. Is that it clear? Then if you look from the perspective of the toilet facility, 9.5 lakh toilet facilities are available at the Anganwadi centers. So that's nothing but the existing network of the infrastructure under this particular scheme. So be it could be human resources, be it could be the other infrastructural aspects. So this is one thing that we have to remember. So with this basic introduction, let us try to know about the details of the Saksham Anganwadi and Poshan 2.0 scheme. Is that it clear? So friends, you have to be active and you have to grasp the things quickly. So because these things could be, you can use it anywhere in your mains examination or in your prelims examination also. There is possibility that the questions might be reflected. So friends, let's proceed further and let's try to understand about the details of this scheme. So if you look from the perspective of the details of the scheme, so we are discussing with respect to the Saksham Anganwadi and Poshan 2.0 scheme. Is that it clear first? Then second thing, so when did we launch it? So actually this scheme has been launched in 2021 and this scheme will be active for during the period of 15th Finance Commission periods, that is 2021 to 2022 to 2025 to 26. So till the currently this scheme is presently in run. So that is one thing. Then who will implement this particular scheme? So implementing ministry is the Ministry of Women and Child Development. So that's another important fact. Okay. Then if you look from other aspects, so what about various schemes that have been merged into this particular scheme? So while discussing in the background, so I was saying you that some of the important schemes have been merged and we made it as an integrated nutrition scheme, isn't it? So what were those schemes which have been merged under this particular scheme? So look at this. So first, Anganwadi services, which were previously known as ICDS, like Integrated Child Development Services. So this has been merged. Then Poshan Abhiyan, so this also has been merged. Then Scheme for Adolescent Girls, SAG, so this also has been merged. And then if you see National Creche Scheme, so this was another scheme which has been merged, and by merging all of these schemes we have made an umbrella scheme which is an integrated scheme, that is Poshan Abhiyan 2.0 and Saksham Anganwadi. So that's basic thing that you have to remember. So the questions could be like this: which of the following schemes have been merged to develop the Saksham Anganwadi and Mission 2.0? So that could be a possible question. So like that, try to remember this. Then who were the target beneficiaries? So when we are launching a scheme, for every scheme there would be some target beneficiaries. Now look at it. Children under 0 to 6 years, they were that. Adolescent girls like 14 to 18 years, so that's one thing. And the pregnant women and lactating mothers. So these are nothing but the targeted beneficiaries. That's one thing you have to remember. Then key components. What are the key components? So supplementary nutrition program, that is one component. So nutrition program. So early childhood care and education, that's another important component. Then modern Anganwadi infrastructure. This is another important component. Is that clear? So these are the three important components under the Saksham Anganwadi and Mission 2.0. Then friends, if you look from the perspective of the monitoring tools, there should be some monitoring tools with which we can observe the progress of the scheme. So there we have some tools like Poshan Tracker app. So this is one thing. The new Aadhaar integration, that's another important tracker. Then growth monitoring devices. So they were other important tools. So these are all nothing but the monitoring tools for this particular scheme. So that is one thing. Now let us have a glance of the schemes which have been merged into this particular scheme. So let's try to understand that. So first, if you see Anganwadi services have been begun, and earlier to this we used to have one scheme that is known as the ICDS, Integrated Child Development Scheme. So that is in 1975. So we have launched this Anganwadi services in 1975, and the key features or key aspects or objectives were that, like, they used to just help or look after the aspects of supplementary nutrition, frequent health checkups for the children as well as the mothers, and immunization activities, and then like non-formal preschool education. Anganwadi schools used to be there. So you might have observed in your schools, in your area, Anganwadi schools might have been there. So that's one important aspect. Then if you see from the perspective of Poshan Abhiyan, so it has been launched in 2018 on March 8th. So what is March 8th? So National Women's Day. So on March 8th we have launched it, and the main aim of it, it was also known as like National Nutrition Mission. The focus of this National Nutrition Mission or Poshan Abhiyan was on the technology based monitoring of the nutrition. So that's one thing. Then next, if you see, so scheme for adolescent girls. So this scheme for adolescent girl has been launched in the revised Poshan 2.0, so which supports in various aspects to the girls, adolescent girls. So one thing is nutritional support, other thing is non-nutritional support. Then other things are like frequent health checkups, skill building and education support. So such kind of aspects it used to perform. That's one thing. Then look at the National Creche Scheme. So what is this Creche Scheme? So this National Creche Scheme has been subsumed under Poshan 2.0. So it provides daycare facilities for the children of working mothers. There would be a lot of working mothers. So it is intended for such kind of people. So that's one thing. Then what were the key objectives of Poshan 2.0? So if you look from the perspective of objectives, first objective is that for contributing to the human capital development of the country. Human capital development. When the people are healthy, they can contribute more as human resources. So that's how human capital could be developed. Then to address the challenge of malnutrition. So we have already understood that what was the context, why we have launched this scheme. Then to address the nutrition related deficiencies through key strategies. So this is another important objective. So key strategies has to be devised. Then to promote nutrition awareness and good eating habits for sustainable health and well-being. So this is another important aspect. So I hope that is clear to you. So these are nothing but the major objectives of this scheme. So that's important aspect. Then if you look from the perspective of the significance of the scheme, so this particular scheme is actually, it's one of the world's largest nutrition programs. Just have a look at that. Then second, it supports over 10 crore beneficiaries. That's why we are calling it as one of the largest programs. And then it helps fight malnutrition, anemia and stunting. So that's another important significance. And then it ensures the healthier future generations through human capital development. So we have already understood it as an objective. So it is helping in human capital development. That's one thing. And it's a good example for policy integration as well as convergence and welfare schemes. So when we are merging the schemes, or like when we are conversing the schemes, they have to have a good outcome. And that is there in this particular scheme. So Saksham Anganwadi and Poshan 2.0. So that's with respect to various aspects related to this particular scheme, my dear friends. And if you look at a glance, so what could be the various aspects that we are developing in this particular scheme means one thing, that is 2 lakh Anganwadis to be upgraded as Saksham Anganwadis. So that's the first thing that we were intended to do. Then second thing, nutritional norms and standards to be improved. So that was another task we have took up while framing this particular thing. Then quality and testing of the take-home ration to be strengthened. That's one another important key objective. And then traditional community food habits to be promoted. So that was another important aspect under this particular scheme. And then delivery of the food under the supplementary nutrition program to be optimized. So optimization of the delivery of the food under supplementary nutrition. So that is one thing. So with all these aspects, so if you see from the perspective of historical aspects, so India has been battling the nutrition for decades, malnutrition for decades now, and despite many efforts, India continues to remain in a critical, this malnutrition continues to remain a critical challenge for the nation's development. So exactly to address this particular aspect like malnutrition issue, so we came up with this particular revamped scheme, Integrated National Nutrition Mission. So the Saksham Anganwadi and Poshan 2.0 scheme is an integrated nutrition support program that combines the efforts of multiple earlier schemes. Can you able to just catch the essence? So to address the malnutrition in a structured and a holistic way. So we have to leverage the benefits of this particular scheme, and we should see that this particular scheme should get success because the beneficiaries were women and children. So today's children will be tomorrow's the future, and the women, if women are not healthier, then obviously the families will not be healthier. So we should take this particular issue of malnutrition into the greater ambit, and we have to just address the issue of malnutrition. So that's with respect to the National Nutrition Mission, that is Integrated National Nutrition Mission. So friends, that's all for today from my side. So try to revise all the important schemes because they can be asked in any stage of your examination. So that's it from my side. So it's me, your Dr. Suresh Uramgunda, signing off. Thank you all of you for watching.